Look at this shape. Draw a cross in the corner with the largest angle. So angles are what you get in the corners of shapes. And the largest angle is this angle here. So that's where we need to draw our cross. Because we can see that this angle here is almost a straight line. Whereas, for example, this angle here is much smaller. So our largest angle is here. Here are 6 number cards. Use all the number cards to complete the 2 sums below. So because we have addition calculations, let's use the largest number card, so 50, as the answer to our first calculation. So we can think what plus what is 50. Well, 40 plus 10 is 50, so let's try 40 and 10. And now, if we cross off the cards that we've used, we have 20, 30 and 30. But we can't write an addition calculation using those numbers. So we need to try something else. Rather than 40 and 10, we could have 30 and 20 to make 50. And then we have 10, 30 and 40 left. So we can have 40 as our answer, and we can make that with 30 plus 10. Here are 2 signs. We have less than and greater than. Use the signs to make these correct. So first, we need to compare 52 and 17. Because this first number has 5 tenths and this number only has 1, we know that 52 is greater than 17. So we need a greater than sign. The way to remember that a greater than sign is this one, is to imagine that the sign is a crocodile and the crocodile snaps at the larger number. Or we could think of this sign as being a bit like an arrow, and the arrow points to the smaller number. So now we have 19 and 91. So 19 is less than 91. And 50 is greater than 34. Here are some angles. Tick the 2 right angles. So we can remember that a right angle is like the corner of a piece of paper or the corner of this screen. So this angle here is a right angle. This angle is less than or smaller than a right angle, so that's an acute angle. This angle here is also less than a right angle, less than the corner of a piece of paper, so that's acute as well. This angle here is greater or more than a right angle, so that's an obtuse angle. And our other right angle is this angle here. So remember, a right angle doesn't have to be vertical and horizontal. You can tilt a piece of paper, you can tilt a right angle, and it's still a right angle. Sarah has a bag of 24 marbles. 1/3 of the marbles are red. How many marbles are red? So we need to find 1/3 of 24. And to find a fraction of a number, if the numerator is 1, all we need to do is divide the number by the denominator of the fraction. And 24 divided by 3 is 8, because 8 times 3 is 24. So that means Sarah has 8 red marbles. Here is part of a number line. Write in the numbers missing from the 2 empty boxes. So we can see that we have a decimal number line. And if this point here is 8.5 and this is 3 less, we need to remember that these little lines will be tenths and the thick lines will be ones. So what is 3/10 less than 8.5? Well, in 8.5 we have 5/10, so 3/10 less will be 8.2. Now we know that this will be 9, so will be a whole number, and this point here will be 10. So the little line after 10 is 1/10 after 10, so that's 10.1. The signs are missing from these number sentences. Write in the missing signs, add, subtract, multiply or divide. The first has been done for you. So they've told us that 6 times 5 is equal to 40 minus 10. And that makes sense because we need the same on both sides of the equal sign. 6 times 5 is 30 and 40 minus 10 is 30 as well. So now for this question, we can have 20 plus 8 and 4 times 7. That's because 20 plus 8 is 28 and 4 times 7 is 28 as well. And here we can have 21 divided by 3 and 15 minus 8. That's because 21 divided by 3 is 7 because 7 times 3 is 21 and 15 minus 8 is 7 as well. So we have the same value on both sides of the equal sign. Here are 5 number discs. Look at the cross pattern. Use each disc once so that the total across is the same as the total down. One has been done for you. So we need the total of these 3 numbers across to be the same as the total of these 3 numbers down. And we have the numbers 1, 3, 7 and 9. But if we look at the total across, 1 plus 3 plus 7 is 11, but 5 plus 3 plus 9 is 17. So we don't have the correct answer because we don't have the same total across and down. So if we move some of our counters, here we have 5 plus 1 plus 9, so that's 15, so still not the same total across and down. And if we move these, we now have 3 plus 1 plus 9, so that's 13, and then if we look down, we have 5 plus 1 plus 7, so that's 13 as well. So now we have the correct answer, because we have the same total across and down. We could also move the 3 and the 9, because that would still be 13, and the total down would still be 13 as well. Which of these numbers give 80 when rounded to the nearest 10? Circle all the correct numbers. So to round to the nearest 10, we find our tens digit and look at our ones. If it's 4 or less, we round down. And because we have a 4, we're rounding down, so that means that our tens digit stays the same. So 84 gives 80 when rounded to the nearest 10, because the 4 in our ones tells us that we need to round down, and also tells us that 84 is closer to 80 than it is to 90. Now we have 87, but because we have 7 in our ones, if it's 5 or more, we round up. So this 8 would become a 9, so 87 would round to 90, not to 80. And now for 72, we have a 2 in our ones, which means we round down. So the 7 in our tens stays the same, so 72 rounds to 70, not to 80. And for 76, because we have 5 or more, because we have 6 in our ones, we know that we're rounding up. So that means this 7 in our tens will become an 8 because we're rounding up. So 76 will round to 80. 76 is closer to 80 than it is to 70. And then 90 will just round to 90, not to 80. So our numbers are 84 and 76. Look at this number. We have 261. Write the digit that is in the hundreds place. So we need to remember that we count place values from the right. So we have our ones, then our tens, then our hundreds. So the digit that's in the hundreds place is this digit here. So that's a 2. And now write the digit that is in the tens place. So that's this digit here, so a 6. Write in the missing digits. So to make this easier, we can write the question out as a column addition. And with column addition, we start by adding our ones digits. So we have 7 plus something, and we have a 0 as the ones digit of our answer. But if we started with 7, we haven't added to make 0. We must have added to make 10, and then written the first digit above the next place value column along. So that's 10 because we have 1, 0. So 7 plus 3 is 10 because 10 minus 7 is 3. So our missing ones digit will be a 3. And then onto our tens, we have 1 plus something plus 6 and a 0 in our answer. So again, we need this column to total 10. And 1 plus 6 is 7. 7 plus 3 is 10. So this missing digit here is a 3. Because 1 plus 3 is 4. And then 4 plus 6 is 10. And then with our hundreds, we have 1 plus 1, so that's 2. So that means the missing ones digit is a 3, and the missing tens digit is a 3 as well. And we can check, if we do the addition, that 137 plus 63 is 200. But notice here, because we started with 100 and had to make 200, that means that the total of our tens and ones needs to be 100. So needs to make 1 extra 100 so that we have 200 in our answer. So if we know that 37 plus 63 is 100, then we know that 137 plus 63 will be 200. Write in the missing digits. So let's set this question out as a column subtraction. With column subtraction, we start with our ones, so we have 7 minus something is 3. Well, 7 minus 4 is 3 because 7 minus 3 is 4. So this missing ones digit must be a 4. And then something minus 5 is 4. Well, 4 plus 5 is 9. So that means that 9 minus 5 is 4. So our missing tens digit is a 9 and our missing ones digit a 4.